This was the first EA I put real money into it, and I'll explain this video why this EA is still one of the best that I ever used. My name is Daniel. This is episode number 1. We're going to discuss all the strategies that this EA uses and why I consider it to be one of the best. If you enjoy these kinds of video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave as many comments as possible. I'll reply to all of them. If you want to test the Powerhouse EA or if you want to purchase it, there is a link in the description. All right, so here we are on the website of the developer, responsibleforextrading.com, from Ryan. What I can recommend here is also joining his Discord group. He has over 5,000 people there, traders who have great experience in working and using many of his EAs, and the discussions there are really useful and relevant. Okay, I'm not going to go into a lot of details. He has two main products, I would say, the Powerhouse and the Architect Algo, which I also use. We're going to have a second video about it. But now we're going to discuss more about the Powerhouse. You can always download a free demo and you can check his verified results. He has a nice YouTube page that I'll link in the description as well, where you can see a lot of videos about him explaining his strategies. I like his down-to-earth approach. He's not one of these, where's the Lambo, where's Dubai traders. He's more about steady 3 to 4 to 5% every month, which I like. And he has at this moment two proven strategies, the Powerhouse EA and the Architect Algo. The Powerhouse being growth-focused multi-strategy automation for traders seeking long-term results. Over 4 years of track record, over five total strategies. From these, I use the Vigorous, the Sharpshooter, the Ranger, and the Crackerjack. So I use 4 out of these 5. New trader friendly. Yes, I can confirm it's quite easy to use. It has the settings for the low, medium, and high risk, so you don't have to change too many of these settings. Yeah, the 3 predefines risk level. So we can go and have a look at the Powerhouse. 1 EA, multiple proving trading strategies. Again, I'm not really a salesperson promoting this one. If you want to test it, you have the link in the description. With all the reason, you can get a 10 days demo and see verified results. I like these kinds of results, showing that sometimes losses happen. It's important that the EA has the time to get out of it. Nice rating review, 30-day money guarantee, 30 days guarantee, which is great. And you can see real performance, forward tested on live accounts, transparent performance, and so on. So I open a few of the real performance. In this case, is the Powerhouse low risk. The low risk means in this kind, the stop loss is at 7.5%. Sometimes I use for certain robots these settings. Again, it's depending on your risk level. It started this account in April 2024, so it has over 2 years of history in this, and with a balance of around $12,000. And now it has over $16,000. And the profit overall, even with the losses, is over $4,000. With the drawdown, that shouldn't be, in this case, it's under 10%. So being a low risk, in this case, the risk is only for 1% a month. Yeah, so being a low risk, the percentage in this case is it's definitely lower. Sometimes you have even a losing month, 2%, a losing month, 3%, 2%. And in 2025, it had 2 losing months, but the rest was profitable. And in 2026, between close to 3 to 4 to 2%. Again, this is the low risk, and in this case, he has a nice $100,000 algo challenge in 5 years. You can find more information on his YouTube account. Here, the average monthly profit is around 3%. It had a big loss. You can say it had a big loss at the end of July last year, but that it recuperated. He deposited $4,500 in this account, and at this moment the account is $6,900 with a profit of $2,400 that was added up. And here you can see the Powerhouse medium risk. This is closer to what I'm trading in my account, with an average of 2% a month, a deposit of $6,000, and a total profit of $4,000 over 4 years. So now it has a balance of $10,000. Again, there was that big stop loss towards the end of July last year, which I went through it as well. I can say, I can confirm that. Yeah, this EA trades mostly on the Euro USD. Most of the profit is made there, but also on the pound Canadian dollar and the pound US dollar as well, and on the Australian dollar Canadian dollar. And here you can see statistics for 2024. Most of the months profitable, with one unprofitable month, which was actually quite big. And then on 2025, all the months profitable except the loss in July. And in 2026, all the months profitable somewhere between 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, and this month has just started. And this is Project Night Sky live on the Powerhouse High Risk. Yeah, in this case, it's a bit difficult to track the profit and the balance because he made quite a few withdrawals from the account, but overall, the profit was over $23,000 in this account. The drawdown went a couple of times over 40%, and this time, again, over 20%. But the growth curve looks pretty nicely. There were some small losses, which happen in trading, but overall, it recuperated really nicely. And here are overall really, really, really small losses, overall over 414% of profit, with an average of 3.2% every month. And here you can see the statistics, advanced statistics for the trades, with a profit factor of 1.26, longs one for 71%, shorts one at 71%, so really consistent there. Average duration 5 hours, so much shorter than the market master. And this is one of the tracking links that you can see results since 2022. It has a big loss in May, but recuperated overall with percentage between 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 7. So really good. 2023 had 2 losses, and the percentage in the rest was between 6 and 9% of profit each month. 2024, 1 loss of 90%, but overall was well recuperated with 8%, 8%, 2%, 5, 5, 4, 3, 7, and so on, 8, 7, 8. And 2025, since I started trading this EA in January, 4, close to 5, 4, 2, 5, 6, 5. Actually, this was one of the Powerhouse that didn't hit that stop loss in July, which was very nice for him, I guess. 5, 3, 5, 3, 0. And this year, a pretty good year, 5.6%, 5, 6, 3, almost 7, 6.89%, 5.93, and this month only just started. I'm going to show also the user manual because you have some good information regarding this EA. Okay, and here you can see the main EAs that are working inside the Powerhouse. The Comeback Kit, which I don't really use, but you can. The Ranger, which I really like. It's really a safe, straightforward EA. Not crazy profitable, but definitely no losses, or very, very few losses, which I really like. Sharpshooter, this was the one that hit the stop loss at one time, but yeah, only because it was in a trade during that high move in July 2025. Crackerjack, and the Vigorous, which is a scalper. Most of them trade on Euro USD. And here you can see the recommendation regarding the minimum balance and the leverage to use, and explains what sort of stop loss has for each of the EA. I run most of my EAs on medium, some of them on high, like Vigorous, and Ranger. I like running Ranger on high risk. And of course, when you purchase the Powerhouse, you can also use each of the EAs that are inside the Powerhouse, like the Ranger or the Vigorous, as a standalone squad. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. You can find more information on the website. Here you can see the link to my actual account with real money. I started at the end on the 20th of January 2025. So it has a year and a half of trading. My initial balance was quite small. Initially, I think I went like with 5,000, and then I increased quickly to 8,000. Anyway, the balance is not that relevant because I sometimes increase and decrease it based on how I transfer money between my other accounts. Here you can see the profit. It went really nicely all over $5,000, but then I had the 30%, which actually was close to 40% stop loss with the sharpshooter because of a big move that happened on the euro dollar towards the end of July last year. So I ended up in a loss of $2,000, but I kept it running, and in 3 months I recuperated the loss, and again I started from break even, and now I have a total of close to $3,800 of profit. The drawdown was huge at that time during that move, but yeah, since then it was really minimum. So now I have this balance in this account and the equity, yeah, because I have some open trades. A total profit of 3,700 with an average monthly of 2.06. Not great, but it's doing its job, and I like the way it trades. Last week, and also you can see yeah, the end of last week and also this month, it had a few room close. What I mean by a room close, I'm not going to go into a lot of details. You can find more on the internet. The sharpshooter, if it senses a change in trend, which is dangerous, and I'm actually open in certain trades that are going against me, instead of going and just opening level after level after level after level and going to big drawdown, it chooses sometimes to do a room close, and sometimes that close can be 0.5, 0.3, depending percent of a loss, which is really small loss, but helps you get out of bigger loss. The average duration, again, 5 hours, which is similar to the vendor's account. biggest drawdown 44%. My trades are 70% of the time profitable, but again, it uses a grid and it uses a martingale. Unlike the market master, the martingale is not aggressive here, but it opens more than one level. It can end up opening close to 15, 18, I've seen even 18 levels down. At this moment, I'm in a few trades, and this is the Ranger, and the other one probably is the Vigorous AI. And you can see the statistics for 2025. Yeah, generally not relevant because I haven't started. I started towards the second part of the month. 4%, 2%, 6%. Here I increased the risk. I started as a medium risk, and then I increased the risk to and went to almost 7%, almost again 7%, slightly over 6%. But because I had a 30% stop loss, in this case, it hit a 30% stop loss in July, like most of the people that are using Powerhouse. And then it slowly and surely recuperated 5%, 2%, close to 3%, 4%, almost 3%, 3% here. And if I look at 2026, I had some great months, January 6%, March 7%, and also some average months, 3%, 3%, 3%. And last month was not a great month, and 93% of the trades are in euro dollar. And here you can see how it looks MT5 platform. I have the Vigorous. In my case, it starts with a lot size of 0.02, but again, the count is close to $12,000, and this is higher risk. So 0.02. The high risk, I mean, it's 30% stop loss. Overall, it made over $3,400 of profit, which is this is the most profitable EA part of my Powerhouse. And at this moment, it's open in a few trades, but it's normal. It started with 0.02, the second trade is 0.02, and then the third one 0.03 and 0.03. And then, so every two trades, it increased by 50. It doesn't double the lot size, increased by 50%. So this probably the next one will be 0.05, 0.05, and then 0.08, and so on. The next one is the sharpshoot, the one that hit the stop loss, and that actually caused some room close, which at this moment I'm not trading. I stopped to double check what's happening here. It trades on M15, and the starting lot size 0.02. And then the next two pairs are the pound Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar Canadian dollar. The pound Canadian dollar on M30 and the Australian dollar Canadian dollar and 1 hour. These are the Ranger. I trade them at a higher risk, 30% stop loss for both of them. And overall, they made a profit of $2,153, which is quite nicely. And the last one is the Crackerjack. It made a profit of $1,278. I trade them also at a higher risk. Yeah, and if you look at the history, the volume got really crazy during that move at the end of July 2025, which ended up in the loss. But if you discard that, the rest of the moves, so here it's under one lot size. So it depends, and you can see which of the EAs is more active. You can see the sharpshooter and the Vigorous EA, at least in my case, are the more active one. This was the first episode, which is a bit more detailed about the way this EA works. But the next episodes will be more straightforward, maximum 5 minutes, just showing what sort of trades this EA had during the last week, what sort of profit, what sort of drawdown, my expectation, my feedback, and so on. If you like the video, then like the video. If you want to test or purchase the Powerhouse, you can use my link in the description. And if you have any questions regarding the Powerhouse or other EAs, feel free to write in the comments. See you in episode number 2.